That heifer right there just don't even care.
Take yourself down.
Action. What do you say, folks? Hope everybody having a fine Sunday evening. What an animal. Yep. Starting already. Ain't even, what, 16 seconds into the deal. Animals. But, so I hope everybody having a fine Sunday evening. We are enjoying this beautiful.
It's been a gorgeous day. Sunshine and like 70-something degrees and a good breeze blowing. I'm loving it.
You talk about some beautiful days down here right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, y'all give us a couple months on
Couple weeks, and here we go. It ain't gonna last much longer. That's why we suck it up while we can.
That's it. Lord, we thank you for them right now. Kind of thing. Like I say, it's been nice.
Very good.
Morning's been in high 50s, mid 50s, something like that. The days on up in the 80s a little bit, but like she said, we got a nice breeze.
Yeah, but the humidity ain't ramped up yet. Humidity's still like in the 60s and 70s. So it's been nice.
Pretty pretty. Critters is loving it. Bees is getting after it. We just rocking on along with things. Get everybody Spielman up there in that fine country said 90 by Wednesday up in this.
It ain't gonna be long.
Yes.
Oh.
Mr. Russell Cooper, Miss Sharon, saying it was 84 today. Humid and warm for this time of the year.
Wow. That's crazy. Y'all are warmer than us.
Okies Eden. 70 tonight, 85 tomorrow. And let me say, wow,
it's nice to meet you.
It is nice to meet you. Okies Eden, from when I was checking out on his channel, kind of like gardening and stuff like that, like Jay and everybody else does this and that. But we got a message on our notifications not long ago that somebody had mentioned, and we woke up the other morning, and we had like 6 or 8 people coming in to different videos saying, Okies Eden sent us, Okies Eden sent us.
We really appreciate it.
So thank you very much, brother, for giving us a shout out. However you run across us, you open the door for us. Yeah. But man, thank you very much. And any of y'all interested, please go over there and sub to his channel if you like doing your garden work, this and that.
It's a really cool video on it. But there's a whole lot of like little links and stuff to a whole lot of other people's channels I noticed on there.
Yeah, different kind of lives. Man, it's pretty awesome what you're doing for folks out there.
Yeah,
like
it's
I said,
really cool.
We greatly appreciate you. Just like I said, randomly, however you run across us. But thank you for
That was awesome of you.
helping getting our name out there on it.
Looking up bee info and we popped up. That's cool.
Okay, hey, yes sir.
That's encouraging.
But, like I said, y'all go hook him up with some stuff, especially you gardeners enjoying it. Miss Sarah's her happy hives. I imagine she'll be over there.
I don't think she's back in here yet.
Okay, well,
I'm sure she'll be back later.
but while we
Main yard with 11 hives had 3 drone layers. That's a lot of drone, Mr. Russell. That's a good sign. There's redfish and Miss Janet.
well, it's good to see you, Redfish. Yeah, Miss Janet, Captain. Hope y'all
are doing well. That is so true, Okie.
That's it. Without the bees, you ain't getting no gardening done.
There's Sarah. I knew she'd be back. Our favorite Miss Leona made it in.
I'm fixing to rummage through here and holler at everybody real fast.
Mm-hmm.
Lee got first. Bam.
He planted his trophy in the comments.
Sure did. And is he still in here? You see him?
I hadn't seen him back yet. He's probably cooking supper.
Okay. Well, I'll wait till if you see him pop in again, let me know real quick.
Redfish said they're doing better every day. That's awesome to hear.
Indeed, bro.
So awesome.
Let's see. Sarah's Happy Hives. Deb, Sun Bunny, good to see you, man. Mr. Russell Amon. Mike Tangway, appreciate you, brother. Clay, good to see you, Captain. Chris, good to see you, bud. Mr. Russell, Miss Sharon Koopman. Good to see y'all. Like I said, glad to hear y'all kind of thawing out a little bit. Get a little break from your snow. Hopefully y'all snow's done up there for you people in the North Country.
Well, if it's hitting 80 degrees.
Ziggy, my man, I was checking out your part 1 video a while ago, and I got about halfway left to go through it, but I'm gonna finish that puppy up. But from what I was seeing, glad to see you got some numbers still, but I hate it. I only made it, like I said, about halfway, but I don't want to give it all away yet. Y'all go check out Ziggy stuff. But hoping you coming out good up there in that Canadian country. Mr. Bill Lee.
Lee heard the panic in your voice. He's back in.
Okay.
What's up?
Well, whenever you texted me yesterday that clip, YouTube, we was headed back to the house from visiting the Dirt Rooster. We'll get into some of that here in just a few minutes, but I was within the gray area of the speed limit, we'll say, and Hannah was trying to tell me what was going on the phone, and I could look for just a split second, but I wasn't ignoring you, Bubba. Just when we got home yesterday evening, we crashed pretty much after a day on the road, South Mississippi. Mr. Bill Lee's good to see you, Captain. Keep filming. Miss Michelle up there in that fine country, 33-mile field. Good to see you, brother. Yep, man, finally got a day. Who else? I don't want to miss anybody down through here. Collector Rick, good to see you, man. Hallelujah, Big Farm. Miss Leona, we love you.
We're still praying for you.
Yes, ma'am, we are. Let's see. I don't want to miss none of y'all here. Y'all bear with me. I got to play there. Oakie's eating once again. Y'all go hit him up.
Oh, that's
Redfish.
cool, Phil.
Rodney Middleton, he's probably on like 101 as far as swarms and cutouts. Man's been having a great season again. So was old Keith Larimore on them swarms, been noticing.
He said a marathon cutout and swarm weekend is finally over.
Well, hey,
If Rodney's calling it a marathon, he must have done like a dozen colonies this weekend.
well, the last 2 weeks, he'd shoot me a old text message and real quick clip. Got another one. Got another one. Then I was needing his expertise on some stuff, and I called him up the other week, and while he was on the phone, he was guiding me through, and he said, "Oh, there's a swarm call right there, Bram." Got that one. So Rodney's having a good season out there too. Thank goodness.
Well, Bill, we actually don't even have any swarm traps out yet.
Nope.
We haven't stopped long enough to put swarm traps out.
We've had 3 move in and 1 leave. We lost 1 swarm out of 1 colony, but we've had 3 move in. I'm
not losing it about them because we're seriously thinking about culling that queen anyway because them bees are so mean.
Well, she gone now.
Yeah.
So
I'm not crying about that. I think that was the Lord helping us out.
But we've had a pretty exciting week for us beekeeping this week. So
It's been a long week.
We done those splits last week, 2 to
Mhm.
3 frame splits, and we ended up with 6 splits between the 2 colonies. Well, the swarms that moved in had moved into where we done the splits. There's not yet a queen. One of them was drawing out a good queen cell off of what they had picked, undoubtedly, but it worked out just perfect, and they moved in, boom, 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 into where we done those splits. So we
I reckon they're a queen right now.
yep, and checked on one and seen a little virgin queen in there. So I imagine she'll be
Doing her thing pretty soon. But we got drones.
good season.
All kinds of drones out there. Walking and birding. There's a bunch.
Flying their little tails off. Y'all know that different tone they put off this and that whenever they zoom out, and it's like every few seconds. So
See, maybe because I didn't get to get in the bees hardly. I think I only got in the bees once or twice before I fell last year. But they seem like they're bigger to me. Their bodies seem like they're fatter this year. Like they're big drones. My word, Rodney said his cutout yesterday had 9 virgin queens in it. Oh, thank you, Mr. Roy. I'll check it just as soon. We're streaming on my phone, so I can't get on there. But I'll check it as soon as we end. I really appreciate that.
hey, no, good to see you, Captain. I missed you there, I guess, on the reading out, brother. I'm sorry.
Right over him.
I apologize. Miss Kimberly here. Good to see you too, man.
There's Larimore.
We appreciate y'all. But yeah, you want to do the prayer list, and we'll talk about what we got, and we'll open up the chat if anybody wants to.
Come keep us awake tonight.
If not, we'll get into the bee journal, and I got.
He said the twin grandbabies were born today.
Awesome.
Mr. Roy.
Congratulations,
Everybody's
y'all.
getting their grandbabies here lately. Okay. You ready?
If you get the pen, go ahead.
All right. Mr. Mark and Miss Crystal, Mr. Pat, and Miss Elizabeth said yesterday that he was actually doing fairly good considering everything. So he was hanging in there good. So Miss Deb, Mike Tangway and his family, DC's mama, Philip's mama, his friends BJ and his wife, our favorite Miss Leona, Steve Amos's father-in-law, PJ Hanley, Sarah and her family, Mr. Randy's mother-in-law, Miss Janae Wood, Kenneth and Chris Wilkinson, Redfish's wife, Miss Janet. It's awesome to hear she's doing better, Redfish. Really, really happy to hear that. Let's see, Kenneth Allen, Rodney Middleton, his family, Dan Garrison's daughter, Miss Jolene, Clay Bunner's grandbabies, Keith Larimore's cousin, Mr. Russell Amon's wife, Miss Brenda, Lee's mama, Miss Brenda Johnson, Keith Barnhill and his family, little Emma Hoskins, Greg Dunn, Bill Kent's mama, Mr. Russell Koopman's granddaughter, Tim's brother Jamie, Mr. Dan and his church, Shaw Wee, Jen's daddy. Speaking of, there's Brian and Jen. Gary Stewart, Castle Hobbs Brian and his family, Blaine's great nephew, Haley Baker, Lee's cousin Stephanie, all our nation service members, Shauna and her family, James Knoll, Keith Larimore's mama, my brother Jacob, James Pell, Justin Jenkins, Bucks Beeswife, Allie Baker, Marty from Yes Honey, Baby Luca's parents, Zach and Kiera, Lee's wife, Miss Renee, DC's friend Bree and her daughter Ivy, Denise and Jack's little baby grandson, Jason, his family, Mr. Russell Amon's cousin Ricky, Clay's daughter Allie, Sarah's son-in-law, Tim's mama Miss Mary, and then the only new addition I have so far for tonight is, and I'm gonna believe with all my heart, it's totally temporary, but be praying for Mr. Ed and all he's going through, losing his channel like that.
Yeah, I hope they can.
Makes me sick for him and mad at the same time.
Hope they can get him worked out on that. Real quick, Sarah said her son-in-law had surgery on his broke foot and it's healing. Thanks for the prayers, everybody.
Good.
They tried that. Somebody tried that with us not too long ago. I'm going to assume they wanted us to hit a link. This is just something to take note of, y'all, on your channels. I'm not sure what. I don't remember the full details on Mr. Ed's situation and everything. How they got him to hit the link in his Gmail. But with us, we got this was back to back for about 3 days. But we have received a message saying that we had a copyright issue with one of our videos with some music.
Mm-hmm.
To click this link and it'll take you into where you this and that. Well, I didn't click the link. I emailed them back and I said, you tell me what video it is and I'll go in and remove whatever copyrighted music. But if it's a YouTube short, it shouldn't be copyrighted because I got it off YouTube.
List that they give you.
Well, a day or so later, they come back and said, well, no, you really need to hit this link in order for us to do it. And I just told them, I said, look, I said, either if this is really YouTube, y'all can take the video down, but I'm not clicking any links to go into anywhere. And they finally left us alone after that. So just be mindful if you get an email.
Phil said Mr. Ed's channel was removed.
Seriously?
That sucks.
Doggone it.
Man, and I've been telling myself all day, like, something good is going to come of this. God's going to use it for something good. Maybe the little turd that stole the channel needed to know about Jesus. But if they took it down...
maybe there's... I don't know. Y'all know me in technology. But maybe there's a way that somebody that's smart enough can, I don't know, somehow get it back for him. But if not, it won't take him long. I hate it for him because of all the work and videos and everything that's put into it. He can't access it anymore. But it shouldn't take him no time to at least get his numbers back up. But
he can in that channel.
I know. The man has got a lot invested in it. And, but hopefully, he can get it back.
We can all pray for him.
Yep.
Sure won't hurt nothing.
Well,
that's
Brian,
it, Sarah.
I'll give it some time and hopefully get it back. Sure hope so.
Well, we'll be looking forward to the video, Brian.
Yep. Especially looking at that country out there. I know we mentioned this before, but that's one of the things I like. Watching everybody's videos, seeing the difference.
He said I'll be having a jelly donut.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
DC, good to see you.
And Lisa.
Miss Graham, it's good to see you, man. Well, she's been a busy woman herself, getting her honey house together and everything else.
No, Kimberly, I haven't. You should email it to me.
Yeah, send it on. And
Yeah.
nothing else, we can share it next Sunday.
The new grandparents made it in.
Well, there's a whole bunch of grandpappies and grandmammies
Well,
out there today.
But how's the baby doing, Danae? I would really appreciate that, Kimberly. I'd love to read it.
You got her? She got her email?
I'll put it in the chat just in case.
There you go. Bingo. I got to remember to turn the notifications on that thing again. Because whenever we start doing the Ute, I'll turn the notifications on so I don't miss anybody saying, hey, we're sending our honey for the Ute. And to go through the days. Then once we get past the Ute, I turn it off because I made a bad mistake. And I spun the wheel on Temu one day. And they got me hook, line, and sinker. As far as, oh, you won this and you won that. And I was like, oh, shit, yeah, I won like $200 worth of stuff. Yeah, let me buy something, send it on. Well, they got me. So after the Ute
We
and that,
spent the money, but they never sent him his free prizes.
so didn't. Sorry, Joker, you got me. Should have known.
As long as he's doing good, that's the main thing. Well, while we're on updates, before we move on, DC, how's your mama doing?
Brian's on his 11th. Are you saying your 11th yard? Am I reading that right,
Well,
Brian?
it's 4 sites that he manages other people's hives on.
My word.
You are running your tail off.
No doubt.
Oh, Mike T got the whole, or was that your great grandson? Do I remember that right, Mike? Hangway? So he got to hold the baby. Big smile on his face.
Hey, that brings a smile on anybody's face.
Mm-hmm.
It's them brand new babies.
Yep, you're reading that right.
Okay.
He's running like, no, Brian said you're reading that right.
Yeah.
That many yards. He's running there crazy.
You know, I'm torn on doing another yard at the old place, and we ain't but 15 minutes from it. But at the same time, it's like we probably do really good up there, but right now we're so busy with everything else, and we're just now getting on good tracks here at the house with what we got.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can do it, Captain. Do it.
He said the largest yard has 21, smallest has 2.
Yeah, you're staying busy. And good to see you, man. Appreciate you getting back with us.
Well, we're sure still praying for her, DC.
All right.
You got beekeeping news?
Well, I got some kind of beekeeping news. Well, a little bit, yeah. Or just us in our week. Like I said, it's been a little more exciting now that things are finally cranking on up. We got a little bit to actually discuss what's happening around here. Besides, we're
It's
just
looking
waiting.
so much better than last year.
Yeah.
So much better.
But tomorrow, we got about 50 pounds of honey we got to crush and do by hand and jar and bottle, or quite a bit of it's going to go back to that colony we cut out yesterday. But there's plenty. These girls had buku surplus and then some put up in that cutout we did yesterday. And So far, that's the biggest one we've done. And it was every bit of, they was on 2-foot centers, about 5.5 foot long, and it was between floors, a 2-story house, and the floor joist that they used was 2x12s. So everything that they built down 11.5 inches and 5/8, so a little over 12 inches, because they chewed the sheetrock. Every bit of that sheetrock was gone. If y'all watched the video, y'all seen that little bitty hole in the very beginning.
But what was really cool when I watched it, like when I watched the video back, I didn't notice it in person. But if you look, it almost looks like a pillar on the ceiling. Like you can see where it's just the paint bubble left on the ceiling in there.
But we got buku honey out of them. Like I say, plenty of feedback, and they've been cleaning out old trash comb we set out for them today. Quite a bit of that had
Larry said he could see it.
The crazy thing, like she's saying, whenever we was looking at the ceiling, even looking at the job, you couldn't see that. So the camera in the shadows picked it up perfect. And when we watched it on the video, putting everything together, I was like, look at that doggone belly in that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they've been there.
Smells so good though. And that comb, once we started pulling it out and opening everything, oh my gosh, it smelled so good.
But the bad part was, I'm glad it was in April versus being in July, because this was a older 2-story home. For whatever reason, the AC duct did not run into that little 5x8 bathroom.
They wasn't in the fart fan in there.
No.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing to move air.
And that doggone everything be back. She did the job. But the heat that comes
hot.
Yes.
It was like being in an attic, especially once we opened the ceiling up so much and all the heat coming out of that cavity in between the floors.
Yeah, we took us a couple breaks.
Like hot.
We earned that paycheck, like we've been telling y'all in the chat. Ones of you that watched the video and commented, we earned that paycheck for them girls, kind of thing. It was, Hannah corrected me, it was 8.5 hours we was on that thing.
It was.
And
my excitement carried me through about hour 4. And at that point, I realized we ain't even halfway through this thing yet.
But I will say, God loved the people, and we're very grateful for the customer, because we give them a good bid on the price and this and that. Especially, we didn't have to do a whole bunch of demo, really. Pretty well, from all you had to do was just pull the paint down off the ceiling. Basically, all we had to do. Had to make one cut to extend back to get to the last little bit of that cone. But everything else was just taking your finger and popping all that old paint off of there.
Yeah.
But God loved the little old lady. She was in her 80s, and she said, y'all stayed here all day working on that thing. And she said, I just kind of put y'all a little bit of extra in there.
She was so sweet. She said her husband used to keep bees. She was like, I wasn't a serious beekeeper, but I helped him some. And she was super sweet. Oh.
Can you
keep her here?
Oh. I said, let her get your phone number and let her do a screenshot or something. You know how to do that?
Okay. Let me email it to you.
We'll see if we can get it figured out. Kim?
For real, Lisa. It's like, you really don't know whether to pray for it or not. Like, you really want it, but to me, it's kind of like cutting them oak trees. Like, I really want them down, but I really don't want to pick up all them limbs.
Yeah, I mean,
Let me try to send you an email, Kimberly, and what you call it? See if I can send you do it that way.
so if y'all thinking about doing the cutouts,
You
think about it.
keep it playing.
Mhm.
I don't know why yours won't just like minimize it.
It's soon.
It won't.
Something.
It's going
But yeah, we got their little tails, and we didn't show this part because, like I said, we was trying to get through it there. We're just pouring in sweat, and undoubtedly, I guess maybe pulling a piece of comb out, or in the process of vacuuming, the queen had fell onto the floor. We had no idea, and about halfway through it, I had to let my arms rest of what I was doing, and I looked right dead in front of me and crawling up that plastic. There she was, headed back up to that colony in the ceiling, walking up that plastic. And I went to digging and grabbing. I told Hannah, I said, well, there she is right there in front of us. She walked right to us. So got her little tail caged, and about another 20 minutes into it, the vacuum just got full and that everything be back. So we had to come home, dump everybody out of that, left the queen here with that bunch, went back and finished the job up, this and that. But everything worked out because it ended up what trash comb was left. We'll have enough to finish doing our foundations, get some good coats of fresh wax on them, wrap all that up completely.
well, everybody's just full of good news tonight.
Well, that's good to hear. Uh,
Tim had a company.
Feather Flowers, good to see you.
How many people tonight?
John P. in here?
Different John Waller.
Oh,
But he said they just opened the second coffee shop and things are going really good.
that's good to hear, brother. I forgot y'all was getting into that adventure and things, but it's good to hear, especially opening you up another one there. Lord willing, it'll keep on rocking.
Absolutely.
Yesterday, like we mentioned a while ago, we went down and visited with Dirt Rooster for a little bit. Picked up he had some brand new frames and foundation, and called him, and we worked out a deal on things. And he said, look, y'all come on down tomorrow and I'll get you fixed up. So we headed south Mississippi yesterday and visited with him and some other friends of theirs that were down with them. And
we got to meet some new people, sat down and had a nice meal together. It was a really good day.
Fine folk.
It was a lot of time in the car.
Yeah, it was quite a bit of riding.
Oh my word, I was so sore from cutting them beads out, and then I got so stiff. 5 hours in the car. But it was beautiful. Like the weather was gorgeous yesterday too.
I will give it to y'all.
I know. I'm fixing to get a refill redfish.
On the Mississippi coast. Now our Alabama coast is pretty. The Mississippi coast is pretty too. But when we got down there, it was just a nice Gulf breeze coming. I mean, we were literally 500 yards from the Gulf.
Yeah.
But it was just a fine day down there yesterday. Like I said, we had us a little lunch together, fellowship for a little while, then went and got our stuff, and we hitched up and put the reins to it and headed home. But I passed my exit.
Yeah, you did. He drove straight on past it. So that's only going to be an extra 45 minutes in the car.
Well, usually
it was only like an extra 25 minutes in the car.
I know many of y'all probably don't know the route, but folks down South Mississippi and down them ways, this and that.
Thank you, Feathers. We really appreciate that.
I'll get that up there.
No, Grammy, we went to we were supposed to go to this pizzeria they liked a lot, but we got there and it was closed. So we went to some little Italian place. I can't remember the name of it. I was telling him on the way home. I can't remember because I didn't even Google it. I Googled the first one to see how to get there. I don't know. I may text Miss Elizabeth because it was really good. Like that lasagna was not as good as my grandma's, but it was really, really good.
I can't remember that doggone place.
I can't either. I don't even remember her saying it. I just remember her saying, well, there's another one like the next block over or something. We didn't drive far at all.
Yeah, it was Italian food, but yet mixed in with the Gulf seafood.
Yeah, like they had a gumbo pizza. I wasn't brave enough to try it. I really wasn't.
And they had shrimp and crab and
pasta.
Yeah, man, all kind of stuff.
And on pizza. It was very unique menu. There was definitely some combinations I'd never thought about before. But everything we tried was really good. I'm thinking maybe we went there because I heard the couple that we met, it was them and their daughter. And their daughter was probably our age, I guess. But I heard the mom and daughter saying they didn't care for seafood much. So I kind of figured that was why we went over there. Well, my soul, y'all. Thank you,
Thank you, ma'am. Yes,
I
ma'am.
appreciate that.
So try and get the button back up there, right?
Did you put feathers on it?
I did, but
Then it wouldn't. It messed up. Yeah, we appreciate that very much.
Sure.
What'd you say, Rocky Mountain Coast? Well, Sarah's ramping up. She's got drones and swarm cells.
Lord willing, hopefully y'all would be drying out before too long.
Yeah.
Oh.
DC's on a roll. What are you making, DC? I tried to go back in the chat and see.
Lee,
his big display hive. He painted it blue.
can you help me out, Lee? If you got a sec, this thing is done locked up on me again.
His buttons won't work.
And the buttons won't work. But,
Fashion at its finest, honey.
well, I've been thinking.
You've been approved.
Yeah, you've been on my mind. I almost texted you earlier today, Mr. Mark, just check on you, this and that. But glad to see you in here. And if you're on the highway, we appreciate you.
Say a prayer for you if you're on the highway, Mr. Mark.
But on the way over, I know like DC, he has asked a couple times and this and that, but while we was headed over there to meet with Randy.
He's going into his office.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you, man. I really do.
We're going to have to make a payroll for Lee. Yeah. We're going to have to create a gun line payroll just to put that man on it.
But got a call from Ed, son of one. And he said he's trying to get back into his bees. Undoubtedly, he had a pretty big loss last year, and he only had 3 colonies left, but he was going to try to tinker around with some Russians he ordered from, I think, Man Lake, I think he said. But Lord willing, he'll be able to make it in this evening in the chat or catch us on the replay there. But the way he talked, he's trying to get back into the groove of things again. Hey there, K. John.
Brad came in.
Yeah, good to see you too. I'm waiting on his took the flag off now.
Oh my soul.
It's just StreamYard and me. Just a minute. Miss Ann's, where she had donated there. That way, if I can try to pop something else back up on the chat, you can pull that down. And if you can get my flag back up, for whatever reason they took it down.
Leave the man alone. You're just on and on and on like a honeydew list.
But he said what you need. It's
So now
what I
you know
need.
how I feel when you ask me something like that, and then you're like, no, that's enough. Stop there.
I honestly did, Brian. When I talked to him yesterday, I told him, I said, man, there's a lot of people that's been asking about you in the chats. And if you're able to make it back in, I know folks would enjoy hearing from you.
Pastor Larry said at least Lee ain't got all four of us. He's only got half the load this week.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. We'll get you some Death Wish coffee over there or something for your troubles.
Oh, Lee, have you tried the vanilla? The vanilla flavor? Because when it went through the roof, like I cannot justify paying that much money for a bag of coffee. But I found the vanilla flavor at Walmart for like less than half the price what it is on Amazon now, and it was really good.
Okay, good deal. Lee said ASB showed up yesterday when they was on the phone.
Oh, awesome. Thumbs up. It's good. It's not as good as the one you got me hopelessly addicted to, but it's right there with it. Like it's not bad at all.
Grayson, good to see you, bud. Roo. Appreciate you dropping by, man. Let's see. The app.
Blaine's app. I haven't seen Blaine.
No, but this is where I was going to go with that. If y'all go to the Play Store, the Google Play, I know we mentioned this, and for right now that I know of, it's only for the Android users, but it's getting beekeeping time, and tomorrow we're really going to get in and dig and detail all of our colonies through Blaine's app. It's free to download. There is a pro portion on there if you want a little bit more advantages, I guess, out of the app. Then it's not, but just a few dollars a month.
It is so worth it.
It's definitely worth it. So go to your Google Play Store, check out Blaine's app for anybody that likes to keep detailed notes of your colonies and what's happening. If it's got something to do with a colony, you can make note on it from queens to the M's to the B's. I'm talking about the pest and just anything else, the age of your queen, everything on there. It's going to be a good little old tool to keep up with the colonies. And like I say, tomorrow we're going to detail every single one of ours, but we're going to have to drag the popsicle sticks out and give everybody tribal names again.
Oh, Philip wants to jump in and do show and tell.
Oh, so
I just saw the message.
Okay.
You gotta put the link up.
Let me put the link up in here.
And TJ come busting through the door with that vanilla Death Wish is nasty.
I guarantee you Lee beats me putting this up here.
What? Yeah, I did it. You did it. You did it.
I did it all by myself. Awesome.
Okay, Philip, you can come do show and tell now.
Smash the button, my man. Let's see why he getting in here. We'll make note of. Well, he got it here for it. Let's save this for the last there.
Hello.
Go ahead, Phil. Yes, I'm just cranking you up on my ear.
I got to turn around now. I can turn around in this alley. Yeah, I was just going over to my mother-in-law's house to check out my swarm trap over there. And I said, well, I'm gonna jump on and show everybody, but I couldn't find the link. So uh, here, we'll turn around. I don't want to spoil it. How y'all doing?
Yeah, well, how about you?
Oh, if we're measuring life on swarm catches, I'm doing great. It was
Well, hey.
I caught my first swarm less than a week ago, sometime early last week, I guess. And I think I've caught 8 so far in less than a week. So
Well, congrats.
Yes, sir.
they're crushing it.
Are,
That's
they,
always good to hear.
are these ones around your house or where you did your new yard?
These are, I don't know if I haven't, as of, a week or so ago, I guess I went out there early last week. There was none out at the yard in Crossroads, which is north. At my new yard, I just put bees there this morning. So I haven't set a swarm trap up out there. I'm going to, but I haven't. But I moved 5 swarms out there that I'd caught. Okay, here we go. Now we're pulling up to my mother-in-law's house. This is a
Hey,
take 2.
Philip.
Uh-huh.
Redfish said that's what a nice truck looks like.
It's got
I didn't
hold
know
on.
if you could see the comment.
Let's see. See if you can see that. Can you see the mileage on it? Oh wait, that's not it. There it is, right there. Ooh, I missed it when it rolled over.
Oh, Brian doing a little bit of smack talking. So Philip caught one swarm 8 times.
I did. I know which one he's talking about. Yeah, and that's a funny story. Here, let's get out and look at this one. I just stuck. I had like 4 swarm traps out on my patio, and I came home from work one day and I walked out there and there was bees flying in and out of one of them. And I thought, okay, I caught a swarm. I think.
I just kicked him off.
And then I went over and checked on
Start
it.
over.
What happened?
I kicked you out for a second.
Oh God!
There we go. I was trying to make you big, and I double tapped.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I was saying I caught a swarm on my patio just on some swarm traps that I had out there to get ready to take somewhere else. And then I went over and checked on one that I did I don't know, I don't want to call it a cutout, but it was an open air swarm under somebody's eave that had just started. And I'd put it into a small nuke, and I went over and looked in that nuke, and it was totally empty. They had absconded. So I was like, oh, that's just that same swarm. They just moved 60 feet. Well, I came home that next afternoon, and the whole front of that swarm trap was covered in bees, about 2-3 inches thick. So I don't know if those were scout bees or if a bigger swarm moved on top of them or what, but that thing, I had to put a 3rd box on it. But can we see here? It's getting late. It's almost dark. So.
Oh yeah, they're moseying on in and out.
Yeah, most of them should be coming back in. They were busy just a couple minutes ago when it was a little, the sun's going down pretty fast.
Knock on it real quick.
Yeah, I moved. I picked up 4 of them. This is just in her backyard about a quarter mile from my house. So, and they're not my bees because I don't have any bees here.
Well,
So anyway,
three's the best number.
So, yeah. Oh, here we go. You might get it's probably hard to pick up on them over the internet. They're all coming home. I think it's a decent swarm based on the activity I'm seeing. It's probably hard to pick up the flight in there.
Well, I don't know if you can see the chat, but folks are rooting you on, saying pop the lid. Then
Yeah, I did
Roy
that
said,
last. I did that yesterday, checking them, and boy, I got stung up a little bit.
I guess maybe that's where Mr. Roy's getting his. He said, "Come on, Phil, take some stings for the crowd." Now I didn't knock him out that time. Yeah.
Kimberly, I got it, but for sure that on my phone, so I can't check it.
Okay. I didn't knock him out on that one, so he had to come back in. On that, he done smashed the button that time. But I got to get the flag back up here. That's driving me up the wall. There we go. What is it doing? I'm trying to add Philip to the deal there. I'm it's saying removed from the stage, but I can't add him to the stage. Bear with me, Philip.
Okay.
I mean, I can hear
I
you
hit
on
the
this
wrong,
end of it, but they can't see you.
right. I hit the wrong button. Taking after somebody.
It's bad tendencies. It happens. I don't know. Just hold tight. Let me see what this will do.
Okay, I think I'm
There
in
we go.
now.
Lee got. Okay, Lee got you in. I guess.
Lee bails us out.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Lee.
I hit the wrong button again, just like my hero. I hit the back button instead of the X to get away from the camera settings. But yeah, that's number 8. And I've got, I don't know, I probably don't have 5 up that don't have bees in them. They're all filling up. I know in the past when I've had a real strong swarm season, it's boded well for the honey crop. Seemed like. The one year I only caught 2. It was a terrible year for honey.
It's looking like it's going to be a good year for around here for swarms. Like I say, so far we've had the 3 come in. We had 1 leave, and we split 1 colony that had about 3 different queen cells in there. And it was one of them. We took they was double deeps, and we just split them off and made sure the queen wasn't in there with the queen cells, and threw a lid and let that little bunch go. And I peeked in there the other day, and there was a little old virgin walking around. So undoubtedly, if she makes it back, that bunch will be nice and queen right, and keep on going. But we got to get our traps up and get them out.
Uh-oh. Somebody left some plywood out in the alley. I'm eyeing it.
Stop and pick it up.
I'm gonna get up and look at it. It looks pretty thin, but I can make something out of it.
Ain't nothing else to get a year or 2 out of it.
I'm not getting that particle wood, but these 2 little pieces of plywood are going home with me. Here, see if I can show. I'm just going to turn the camera around rather than try to push buttons again. Yeah, a couple of pieces of 3/8 right here, about 4x4. I can build something out of those.
Yeah. Lord, yeah. Take them to the house. That's another box for next year.
I can make dividers. I can make some of my dividers. I can make. I've got a nuke. I got a nuke that I make out of 3/8 because it's really nice and light. All right, we're gonna load it up. Can you do the music? Can you do the music for me? Because I sent you. I've commented on your Facebook, I think, or you've been commenting on mine or something about Sanford and Son. I don't know if you saw that.
That's what
Yeah, that's what I need you to do. I need you to do the music while I'm picking this up. Throw it in the truck. There you go.
You remember Jamie Blair in that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think you said something about Noah. Yeah, it was on my post. You were saying something about, I hope they yield a bunch of honey for Noah or something like that.
Yeah.
I told you Lamont got another job. So it's just Sanford now. There's no sun. There's no hand sun. Just Sanford.
Well, he'll be on back to help the Paul when needed, I imagine. Let's see. What was it? Brian was asking about when your market start.
All right, we're loaded up.
Bingo.
Oh, wait a minute here. Let me see what else is out here.
You
Yeah,
got
it's just
no? You got no son?
No, he just got him a nice little load of plywood to bring to the
Oh,
house.
yeah, same. You finally gonna come say to everybody?
I wonder who could we label as Grady, y'all?
Come on.
If we need a Grady, who could we label as Grady out of this bunch? That'd be interesting to see what names pop up.
Uh-huh. Come say hey. We got a spa day.
Tell you what, I don't even need this, but I'm gonna show it to you guys. I'm gonna take it, but it's a giant, it's a giant screed for like I don't know what they use it for. You can use it for concrete, I guess. I don't know. You see that thing, Tim?
Oh man, I'd use that puppy for spray and paint whenever you got an airless.
Oh yeah,
Hold that dude up
you
there.
mask. Yeah, I see what you're saying. You push shove it into the corner.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We used
I'll
the
prob-
snot out of it.
I will throw that in there and just put the word out. If anybody needs it, I'll give it to them. But yeah, I see what you're
What's
saying.
the
You put it in there. Yeah, I've seen people use them in the around door frames and stuff when they're painting, spray paint.
Or if it's
Aluminum.
we're talking about the concrete.
It's like a 3-foot
Oh.
Like,
trowel looking thing. Yep. There's also a glass panel off a
Y'all know how
sliding
that
door, but
song
I'm not,
stuck in my head.
if I could make one of the biggest solar max wax melters with that one panel off a sliding door to say too.
hey, that's what we did. I got an aquarium and I had some old pieces of window glass that come out of an 1890s home. We replaced all the windows in there, and the people wanted us to take them old 1890 windows out. Well, I couldn't get rid of them old windows, man. They were still beautiful and good shape, but there was one of them that cracked whenever we was loading it up. And I took that pane out, and a year or two ago, I was just trying the wax melter. Everybody was talking about doing the solar wax melters. I was like, I'll just make my own redneck one, see if it'll work. But I took that old glass and sat on top of that aquarium, and buddy, she worked like a charm.
Yeah, that's one thing I need to either build or just drop the $200 or whatever and buy that one from Hilco. But I don't think that one from Hilco, I don't think is big enough to hold a whole frame, is it? I think you have to make
I'm
your
not
own
sure.
that big. I'd like to put a whole frame in them if I could.
Clay said Phillips entertaining us 2 nights in a row.
Yeah, I picked up 4 swarm traps on Joey's channel last night out in the country. Yeah, I got Clay. I got back in to my house about 12:30 and took a shower and went to bed and woke up again about 5 a.m. and got ready and drove out to kept going, and all the bees lived. They all
Good
survived.
deal.
They all survived my foolishness. But yeah, I picked up 4, and then I took the patio swarm out there too. So,
Brian said there's a sign next to the pile that says free, but Philip wants to knock on the door to haggle anyway.
You got anything else, mister?
Thank y'all, Phil and Danae.
that's funny.
Brian's just on a roll with his jelly donuts tonight. They got him in a froggy mood.
Is he munching on some now?
He said he was eating jelly donuts for supper.
Brian, which Brian is that?
Colorado Brian.
Oh, yeah, my nemesis.
Is
Yeah.
that why he's going so hard at you tonight?
I was watching one of his, I guess it was Facebook. He had the big swarm and half or more than half of it left. That was weird.
Well, it sounds like everybody's going to have a fairly decent swarm season this year.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, folks be cranking up already.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah, I thought I had enough equipment, but I may not have enough. I did a horrible job of parking. See here. How far off the curb am I? No, it's not so bad. It's only about a foot off the curb. It's all right. I've got another one, but it's too dark probably to show you. We'll walk down there anyway, I guess. It's amazing how these phones can pick up the light. You know, it looks a lot brighter on the phone than it really is out here.
Can you see the comments?
When I was at the no, let me put it on comment. Let's see, comments. There they are. Philip, do you have a video on how to make nuke with 3/8 plywood? Always looking for new ideas. No, I don't have one. The thing is, I made them that way my first year, and I cut out a bunch of pieces, and I've been kind of building them along the way. I guess I've got a couple left I need to put together. The dimensions I use. Might be hard to hear me. I'm getting close to traffic.
Uh-oh.
I think we lost you, Philip.
Dead zone. Who runs through here? Mr. Mike Barrett, good to see you, Captain.
The world famous Mr. Mike Berry came in.
Yeah. Undoubtedly, he's whittling on swarms, too. There's never enough equipment, as swarm calls come. It's sure ramping up to be a good year for everybody, it looks like. Keith Larimore says he's over it already. On a swarm.
Well, that man's been trying to downsize for like 3 years now, hasn't he? Oh, he come back.
He's coming back. I
Maybe.
can't blame that one on me again.
You know what? I think what
Gotcha.
that was.
Go ahead.
When I pulled up close to my house, I'm sure that it probably grabbed the Wi-Fi, and then when it releases from the Wi-Fi, it always struggles. So it was probably in that no man's land. Anyway, I was saying that I live on this street with all these little shotgun style houses almost. But my neighbor down here at the end, it looks black, but this is all the grass he's got, this little patch in the front, and it's a bee paradise down here. So I asked him when I first got into beekeeping if I could hang a swarm trap, and he let me hang one back here on his fence. And I've caught a swarm in it at least 3 out of 5 years, and a couple of them the first year.
Wow.
But this is a busy street here. Drives through. But you can see this is, oh yeah, you're going to see something really impressive here in a second. I'm wishing I had bees here now. Look at this bush right here. See that one?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
That's privet. It's that early blooming privet. It's strong smelling too.
Oh,
But yeah, this is outside his fence.
Yeah, they probably
that
rattling
stuff
all over
makes
that.
some good honey.
We went up to the old place today, had to drop off
Let's
our
see.
tax paperwork for Uncle Sam, but when we was at the old place, there's just a regular Chinese privet and a variegated that's at the edge of the porch there. But they
It might be
grew
too dark.
together.
Let's see. My phone will adjust. Okay, here's my trap right here. It's tucked in the fence.
Yeah.
It's almost dark under here, so yeah, it's got a swarm in it. It caught one this weekend.
Big
Oh,
good.
that's cool.
Well, there's 9 or 10.
We gotta get some traps up. Y'all making me jealous.
Here, we'll walk down the alley. I'll show you the I've got a trap in my backyard. I've never caught one in mine, but I might catch one now that I don't have bees back there. Won't be so close. Ooh, that lightning.
Mm-mm.
We're finally getting some rain, thank the Lord.
We need some. PJ said he don't believe you shine a flashlight in the hole. They just trying to get you tore up tonight.
That's good.
Hope they want some action. I don't have no controversy tonight, so
Bob ain't done a live to get stung up in a while. People's in withdrawals from seeing somebody get stung on camera.
Well, it looks like they look like they just mowed this ditch bank. This usually gets covered in henbit and all kinds of little flowers, and they as soon as it gets good and going, they come and mow it down.
Typical.
Drives me
it sounds
bananas.
like the state of Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, when we was headed down,
I've come out here and talked to them before. Told them they need to quit.
y'all stop that.
No habla inglés.
How dare y'all keep all this up?
Like your shotgun and your Google Translate app.
Oh no. I'm starting to have regrets. Y'all gonna see my backyard. It's like the people that saw the inside of my truck. It's really bad.
It cannot be no worse than the Sanford and Son Jr. over here.
It's a beekeeper's backyard, that's for sure. Let's see.
Phil said I got stung on the forehead yesterday cleaning around the hives and actually got excited. That's hilarious.
Oh, yeah. For anybody who was watching last night, right after I hung up, I showed the box. I see a big junk pile. I think it's just all this junk here. So right after I hung up, I carried that hive to the truck. And when I set it down, there's bees all over the outside of it. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's leaking. So then I realized I forgot to plug the entrance. They came out and I got stung like 4 or 5 times. They were cheering for me to get stung, and I didn't get stung until I hung up. I got stung on the cheek. I got stung twice on the index finger. I got stung on my right wrist. It was terrible.
Oh my God. But Clay
Is that
just
picking up
said,
there?
don't worry, Philip. They don't sing at night, so you'll be okay.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
couldn't
right.
go, man.
I proved that wrong last night. It's too dark, isn't it? Yeah, I've got a swarm trap hung up back here in the back corner, but I just hung it up a couple days ago, I guess. So.
We've got them built. I built 2 of the ones that I called you about getting measurements on. I built 2 out there. Then
Yep.
we finished the job a few weeks ago when I got if you put them together, it's 2 whole sheets, but 4 different 4x4, 4 foot by 4 foot pieces of plywood off a job we did not long ago. We was able just to pop them off without tearing them up. So that's probably going to be the next 3 or 4 we get out. But I got to get, like I say, get them ones built up.
All right. Caught one. Swarm. Here's the, I don't know if I can get you on here. I'm on live here. You're on live too. Missus. All right. She's watching a movie. All right, let's see here. Well, that was more fun than stomping baby chickens.
Well, good to know that the numbers is adding on up instead of a season of, well, ain't much happening.
No, it's crazy. I gotta, now I'm having to figure out where I'm gonna move these swarms from and to. I'm not a big fan of moving them very, nearby. Like if I move those from Bill's down to my house here, I'm gonna lose a bunch of them wanting to go back.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's only a quarter mile over to my mother-in-law's house, so that's not really an option for his. So I'll have to grab his and hers and probably take them. I'll probably take them out to Crossroads. That's like 20-something miles. But set them up out there. But I think got a feeling all these people that keep bees on their place. I kind of have a limit, that I can put, but I have written into my contract that, 10 full size and like 1 nuke for every 3 full size ones as a resource. So that means like 13 or so I could keep. I wasn't going to sell any nukes this year, but we'll see.
Well, if it keeps on the way it's going, especially with them swarms, then I guess keep your numbers down. That'd be a good little way to.
Yeah, I've actually sold a few swarms, and they were really good. And the guy that got them loved them. He actually contacted me about them, and I sold them to him, and he really liked them. Some of the best. We couldn't hardly get them in. We couldn't hardly get them in his new boxes he brought over. But the thing about a swarm, you don't really know until you open it up.
Yeah, have to wait till Hannah gets back in here. But when we was having a little bit of lunch with Randy and them yesterday, the folks that they knew that was there as well, they got to asking him about, just kind of what he thought about genetics and this and that, so on and so forth. And he kind of said that he just more or less keeps an eye out for whenever he does removals or swarms. And if they're a fairly gentle stock, then he'll kind of take them and graft off that bunch and try to keep that calmer genetic around for him. But like I said, I had to get Hannah in here to get the exact number because I don't want to misquote it. But I guess one of them big commercial guys that's around him had taken one of them queens that just had some really good genetics as far as being gentle, but yet good producers on every other end, as far as brood and honey and this and that. But you remember how many grafts that guy made off
that video.
Randy's queens? He said 12,000 grafts off that one queen.
I can't remember
Oh, no.
exactly. Don't get me to lie.
If I remember right, it was about 10 or 12,000 grafts they got off that one queen
Yeah, it was a
throughout
lot.
however long. And it blew our mind. I was like, good grief. But I guess undoubtedly that commercial guy just wanted to keep that one genetic going through there. But I'd have never imagined anybody, which I've never been on a commercial level, but
Not yet.
thinking of grafting 1,000 would just be a crazy number. But
He's probably got 5 or 6 people grafting for him. And they're grafting probably several hundred each every day.
You want to come say hi? Since your daddy's hiding tonight.
yeah, you're a junior.
Yeah.
What else do I have here? Well, since we got how far are we along? Lord, we done flew almost an hour and a half. Time flying by this evening.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that comment from Brian about Eric. Does Eric have his bees now?
Huh?
Does Eric have his bees? He said he's painting a gazillion bee boxes.
I thought you had bees.
He was going to buy some from that snake oil salesman out in Colorado.
Yeah.
Oh, that one guy out there that likes donuts and ice cream.
Yeah, that
The nemesis.
That guy. Yeah.
Well, hey, if nothing else, you got them ready, then
You got one new to what somebody said there. A donut guy.
got one new. All right.
Renee knows who he is. Mm-hmm.
Y'all, I want to say this before I forget. When we get out of time, and we got some good numbers in here still. To our members, we want to thank everybody on that end for being members. But it's been a little while since we've done any, and now that we're going to have a lot more to show in the beekeeping portion, and we thank every one of y'all that has wrote it out with us these last couple of years in memberships and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Can't believe you did it, but we appreciate it.
But we're going to try to, now that we got a lot more beekeeping going on, the videos we make for, some members only videos, or if nothing else, kind of like Mr. Ed does, put the video out a day or two and let the members get on it first, then produce it out to, or send it out to the regular subscribers and everything there.
Try to make it worth it to be a member.
So we're going to do 5 gifted here in just a second. And for anybody that don't know, if you get a membership, it don't cost you anything. But if you want to renew, you can pick whichever level you want to do, this or that. But
I think we have them set pretty cheap.
yeah, we got the low prices. And it ain't $19.95 plus shipping and handling like on the deal, but old commercials. But like I say, while we still got a good little crowd in here, we'll see who can look up on memberships.
Yeah, Clay, somebody stole his channel, but they're working on it. You just did all of them.
No, Phil just did.
Whoa, Phil. He just gifted 10 memberships. I think. Yeah.
Let me make sure it's
33 Miles sent 10 memberships. Did you hit it or did he?
Nope, it says 33 Mile Phil gifted 10 memberships. So
you're awesome, Phil.
Yeah, I love you, Phil. Thank you much.
We appreciate that.
And I tell you what, we had no idea Bill from 33 Mile was going to do that, but for the ones
No.
of you
We didn't.
that got one, showed a man some
He said I
love.
did it.
He said I did.
Thank you, Phil.
So,
We appreciate that.
all right, well, we'll do 5 more on ours then. But
Everybody gets memberships.
yeah, see who gets them. But thank you very, very much, Phil 33 Mile, for
Yeah.
hooking folks up.
All right, let's see. Chris, Bluff City, Don Bearden. I'm a butcher that name. Reximus, 225. Michael Pike. Let's see who got fields. PJ, Clay Bunner, Brian, Mr. Roy. I don't know how to say them. Richard, Tracy Thompson, and the ones I couldn't pronounce. Congratulations.
We apologize, but we'd rather not butcher your handle there.
Yeah.
But do forgive us on that end.
I'd hate to offend you.
Man, thank y'all. Y'all have been awesome this evening.
Everybody.
Yeah. But all right, well, I got somebody in here to ask this question on, especially if there's somebody within the first year or two of beekeeping, but we've seen this happen several times. This is our 6th season, 5th, 6th season.
7.
Okay.
I can't remember.
A few seasons of beekeeping now. But y'all know how it is when you walk out in that yard and you hear the beginning of that hum of them bees swarming, and you look down at wherever your yard is and you can see that gradual, you can kind of start seeing them do their little 360 donuts headed up in the air type thing. But has this happened to y'all? And I imagine so, especially anybody that's doing it for a little while. But now I really pay attention even more. But I'll go down to whichever colony that is swarming, and I'll stand back about 3 to 4 feet from watching them come out of that box. But as I'm watching them come out of that box, my eyes at the same time, I'm kind of up and down. I'm looking at the ground. I'm going somewhere with this. Because I'll say about 60% of the time, you'll find either a virgin walking on the ground or the queen that's actually coming out of there to swarm out on the ground. It seems like you only got a short window to catch her behind before she really gets up in the air, kind of thing. Because one of the ones I caught swarming, I had grabbed her with the cage, but she had gotten on the side of the doggone cage. And whenever she got on the side of it, buddy, she went straight up in the air. And I just grabbed her. And how I didn't squish her, I don't know. But I was able to catch her in the air before she got up too far and put her in the cage. But just anybody watching your swarms, if you catch them one come out of a box, go down there and check them out. I don't suggest go running and stomping up in front of the box, because oftentimes they've literally been right down in front of the colony that they're coming out of. So, helpful little hint that we've seen. Stand there and watch them for a second, but glue your eyes to the ground as well and see.
And she's still right there.
Yeah, because there's a good chance if you catch them, from what we've noticed, that you can get her tail on the ground before they show enough get up in the air.
The other thing you could do, I did once, was I saw some, when they swarm like right on the outside of a box, instead of taking off in the air, they start pouring out and they cluster on the side of the box. I found a virgin queen that they were trying to ball, and So then I was like, well, let me open this up and see how many swarm cells. So I went in there and just started took my knife and just started picking the caps off the swarm cells.
Mm,
And I got like 5 virgins walk out, You can do
wow.
that too. Yeah, you can take them. And I was actually trying to pull a Mark Miller. He's like, walk him in the front door. That's all you got to do is walk him in the front door. So I went and killed the queen that I was trying to replace, which was a mistake. And then I tried to walk the virgins in, and they all flew off. I think that's the one where Tim made fun of me. I was like, she flew. Oh no, she flew.
Well,
And I'm like,
Wasn't it a year or two ago? I feel like I
yeah,
remember you
a couple
talking
years
about
ago,
that.
yeah. And then I'm realizing, don't ever kill the old queen until you know that new one's in. Hey, Eric, you better listen to
Lesson
that.
hey, the field 33 mile. He said, I'm more worried about where they're going and running to grab my pans to tame.
Yeah.
We've caught 2 out of 3. We tried doing that. It really worked.
Yeah, it brought their tails down to the ground.
If you have the patience to put up with the taming until they come down.
I'll tell you what, after what I just experienced this past couple of weeks, I've talked about it on Joey's show, but I was culling a queen, and instead of killing her, I had her just in a clip and took her back to my cabin and left her out in cold weather. I thought she was dead the next morning. She was just perfectly still. And then I
Oh,
came back from working that whole day, like 6 o'clock that evening. There were bees all over that clip. I said, I bet she's alive in there. I bet they revived her, warmed her up, and all that. And so I stuck her in a swarm trap. It was just sitting right outside the cabin, waiting to go somewhere. Put her on the bait comb, and bees started flying in there. And I went back in 2 weeks, and I'll bet you there's at least 15 or 20,000 bees in there on top of her. It's just packed out with bees. So a swarm, it had to have been a swarm, I think, or maybe just over time foragers smelled her. But so yeah, next time I might just, when I want to cull a queen, I might just go stick her in a swarm trap. See what happens.
he said I had to explain to my neighbors why I'm out there looking like an idiot making racket.
Thought it was off his rocker.
I can just imagine what somebody would think if they had no idea what she was doing.
Oh,
Mm,
they just pulled the blind and said, "Oh, that's just Phil again."
they're special.
If
Bless
you're
his,
anything like me
bless
out
his
there
heart.
doing
Bless.
it, yeah, I'm like a madman. I got a bit of OCD about me anyway, but I'll sit out there for an hour and a half nonstop just to
Non-stop.
bang, bang, bang.
Y'all
bang.
remember that I Love Lucy episode where little Ricky's learning to play the drums and it causes like a massive feud between everybody? That's what life is like on Gunline Hill when Tim's trying to tame a swarm.
We've had it work, like I say,
Mm-hmm.
twice. So
There was
it's enough.
there was a couple that lived I had a cabin next to where my father-in-law lives. And he was a retired doctor, and his wife's name was Gail. And he had one of those backpack blowers, and he loved to go out there and blow leaves into the little Pigeon River that went behind the house. But he'd do it at like 8 in the morning when she was trying to sleep in. And she would go, when you die, I am not going to bury you. I'm going to dump your ashes out on that beach, and I'm going to take that blower and I'm going to blow them in the river.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy, talk about brutal honesty.
She hated that thing, all that racket. Because them things make some noise. Those gas-powered backpack blowers.
Nice.
He,
Oh,
he did pass away a couple of years ago, and I just didn't have the nerve to ask her if she did that. I probably would
Did you blow him off in that river?
have. She promised lots of times that's what she was going to do.
I don't know if I'd have had the nerve to ask her either.
I didn't.
Mm.
Be my luck. Go to do something crazy like that, and you dump them out there in the yard and go to hit them with the blower.
just
Then the
blows.
wind blows, come back.
Right in your face.
That I could see that happening to me.
I'd be
I
disgusted
could see that
and upset all
happening
at the
to
same time.
me.
You got me one last time.
Yeah.
Phew.
Oh my gosh. They gonna have cow in that dirt diaper. Jubel's on it now.
Well, they about knocked the camera over. I know y'all couldn't see that, but whenever I reached up a second ago, was under my breath telling them, "Don't y'all do that." Y'all know them little old dirt daubers. We call them toilet walls.
No, we call them dirt divers. Old timers
Call
call
them
them
toilet
toilet
walls.
walls.
Yeah, we call them dirt daubers. I've heard them called mud daubers too.
Mm-hmm.
But undoubtedly, one made its way in here, and I can't say the word. I have to spell it. But if we tell the dogs to get the BUG, everybody goes crazy because they think
Mm-hmm.
it's time to unalive something. And I was just waiting for them to kick that camera stand and everything over. Like, well, that'd probably end the show.
Yeah. It's coming. It's coming.
So do we still have a flying squirrel, or has it been released?
No,
Nope,
she's
she's
still
back there.
here. I think we're about out of our cold snaps for good. So we'll probably let her go in the next day or two,
Yeah,
couple days.
I did notice her little tail. I don't know if she's just gotten too big, and I may have to build her another little old house before we put her out. But
Mhm.
I have one of them. What do you call them things?
Like a beanie hat, like a toboggan hat or something. I don't know what the real word is,
That's
but that's
right.
what it's curled up in.
I had her.
Hey, Jasper, get that bug.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't do that because he is laying on my foot under the camera stand right now.
Phil made me do it.
Yeah. Phil is one of the biggest instigators in our group. I think he enjoys it. I really think he comes here like what people come to NASCAR for. He's just waiting to see all the crashes.
Hey, I want to too watching this derail and train wreck of a show that we always have. But we
It's fun,
appreciate
though.
everybody being here.
It's fun though. Hanging out with everybody.
Hey, the good thing though, if you got a bunch of them old dirt daubers, especially around your house, and if you're afraid of the arachnids, then leave them alone because they'll unalive every single arachnid you got around there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they move into my cabin and I leave them alone.
Yeah.
Where I don't like them though, they get in my swarm traps and they build those darn those things on my frames, and you can't hardly wash that stuff off once it's on something.
No, or it takes an 8-pound sledgehammer to bust them open, or at least down here with this red clay we got.
Mm-hmm.
They'll build them around like the wax strip at the top. You just basically got to break that wax strip off. You're not washing it off of there. And then they'll build it around. I got fishing line for reinforcing, and they'll build it on that fishing line. Man, it's hard to get off of there. I've had bees move in with the mud dauber stuff still in there sometimes, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple times. I try to go in there and clean them out every now and again, but
Not in your line of work, Phil. Don't be saying that. Mm.
Just,
Mm.
there was that.
Okay. Yeah. Just come on through.
Yeah. Well, looks like pretty well everybody, they be getting ready. Painting boxes, getting boxes ready.
Hmm.
Got all your foundations waxed up, this and that.
Lisa said her privet was going. Somebody else said that. Lee said they had a privet flow going.
Yeah,
I
that
Go ahead, Phil.
that privet I showed you guys is kind of the exception around here. There's a later blooming privet out at Crossroad. It won't bloom until June. But when it does, it'll be a huge flow. So I
I
don't know.
know
I need
some
to.
people don't like the smell of it, but I like the smell of that old privet.
Yeah, the flower looks the same, and you can taste that in the honey once it comes in. It's really sweet. I don't prefer it like I do the fall or richer tasting honeys, but some people love it.
Oh, Phil, don't worry. That's just petty cash to the railroad company.
Yep.
He said trying to keep it on the tracks. I did. Kaboom. Up to $4 million worth of train engines the other day. Yeah. Somebody didn't check the oil or put the oil filter back in that thing, and I bet you.
No good.
What's them things run? 5 weight? That's good, Bluff City. So I went to grab some honey supers today and found a swarm in it by accident. They stung me 3 times in the face and ear, but hey, you got them.
Good night, Sarah.
Yes, ma'am. Y'all take care. You and Stephen as well. Oh, 1540. 300 gallons in each. Whew.
Crazy.
But
Full synthetic.
yeah, change them every 3,000 miles.
That's right. Yeah.
Trying to look at my list here and make sure I got all my beekeeping, whatever I have for news this evening. Still got another 20 minutes. Let me get back over here real quick. I know a bunch of y'all was getting into Demery and his method. Let me see how big this article was. I got enough time to read it all off. Nah, I may have to save it for next week. It's quite lengthy. But I run across the actual bio of Demery and how he got started and come up with his method and all that stuff from the old Bee Journal. But I'll save that for next week. You fooling with any Demery, anything like that, Philip, or you just kind of like us? Y'all get after it and go.
No, I'm not doing that. I can't. I don't have enough. I don't have any bees that are close enough to me that I can keep up with it. That you got to do that like every no more than 7 days.
Mm.
You got to keep moving that brood up. So I don't have access to any bees that I can get to in 7 day schedule. I basically, the way it's been going, I've been going to see my mom every 2 weeks. So those weekends are shot, and then the other weekends I go to the farm, which is every 2 weeks, and then I just pick a morning and go out to Crossroads about every week. And now I got another yard in a little town called Flower Mound that's like 12 miles away. That's the one I just set up this morning. So I'll have to add that to every 2 weeks or month. And you know, once we get through this, once we get the flow going and I feel like I got enough supers on, I can maybe go every 4 weeks. But yeah, I don't have any ability to do a dim rig. I just don't have any hives close enough to me to do it. And I probably wouldn't anyway. The thing I've been trying to do this year, which is a ton of work, is I went out and put a second super on everything because I had singles through the winter. And then I pulled up like 2 or 3 frames of brood into that top super and then came back in 2 or 3 weeks and tried to find the old queen, make sure she was in the top, put her above a double screen board and let the bottom make a new queen. And so this Saturday was the first day I was able to, yesterday was the first day I was able to see how that was working. And I did that in my yard at the farm, and it worked, I would say, just like I wanted it to, about roughly 40 to 50% of the time. But sometimes you'd open up that bottom and they didn't make a queen. So now you got a decision to make. Do you give them some eggs and larvae and let them try again? Do you just take that top queen and recombine them? You know, you have to make some decisions. So what I did, okay, the ideal situation for me was, okay, it's an old queen in the top. She may not be doing that great. Let's get a new queen in the bottom, and then let's just take capped brood from that old queen and just move it down so you boost them up faster. You know, try to get some bees hatching out and foraging for the honey flow. That's the ideal situation. And that occurred on, I'd say 30 to 40% was just like that. And a couple of cases when I opened up the bottom and they wasn't, some cases the bottom got robbed out. You know, they weren't collapsed. There were bees in there, but there was just not much else. If that was the case and the top and the old queen in the top was like really rocking and rolling, all of a sudden I look in there and she's got like 4 or 5 frames of brood that I basically gave the top one, because it's not like I'm working with 2 double deeps. I'm basically working with the bottom's full of resources and the top is really just a queen and a frame of food and frame of brood and maybe a couple other drawn combs. So it's basically like a nuke above a full colony, because that's all that they could have accomplished with in the 2 or 3 weeks I gave them. But every once in a while I'd open it up, and that queen in the top was just crushing it. And in those cases, if they didn't have a queen below, I just combined them back together and let her take over. But that's a lot of work, because you do have to go back and just go through both boxes and figure out what's going on. And I want to say I want to do it in 15 minutes a box, but I'm not. I'm probably taking 20 or 25. And you multiply that times more than 15 and you're out there for a long time.
There's another man that just popped in here that can show enough take and turn around in a season and do well. Oh, Jeremy there. Good to see you, brother. Glad to see you doing good out there in Texas too.
Yeah, my goals is to make honey and to refreshen my queens, because I've got some like red queens and green queens, a lot of them. And so trying to get those to updated.
We got to mark ours. I bought the whole, whatever, all the colors a few years back, and we went out there for 2 years and marked, and ever since then I forget to even go out there and mark their tails now. But I do need to get out there and mark these.
Yeah.
What is it, blue this year?
It's white this year. I'll tell you what, though, it's some risk in that, because in Crossroads I found a queen that was just killing it. So I went to move her up and I marked her blue, and I heard her. I could tell that she was not doing good when I put her back in there. And sure enough, when I went out there what was it, like Monday or Tuesday. I had it marked on there. Probably, great blue queen probably killed her. And I opened it up, and sure enough, swarm cells all in that top box.
Mm.
He was gone. So yeah, there's some risk when you mark them. I had a white one this weekend when they got hot. It was one of them where I touched her back with that tip of that white pen. It looked like it sprayed white all over her and my hand and everything. Tiny little droplets, but still. And so then I moved my pen over the side, and I went to push it down to see what was going on with it, and it looked like it dumped a quarter teaspoon or a half teaspoon of white paint. I think it got hot, and that built up pressure inside that pen. It was like 80 something degrees when I was doing it. So yeah, there's risk in marking those queens for sure. That's why I only do that in the spring. I won't mark after we get to about middle of June, 1st of July. I won't mark a queen because the chances of my queens getting back surviving the dragonflies are almost nil.
Thinking of that, it wasn't dragonflies, but the other day was out there watching one of them swarms come in where we had done the splits, and we was just going. There was walkaway splits. If y'all go, you go. If not, then we'll throw a cell in, something like that. But we was trying to get them to draw out off that colony we got from Mr. Russell Amon, because those genetics, whatever they are, mutts or whatever, but they have just been a very gentle stock. So we was trying to do splits off of her and get some cells, but day or two rocks on, we come home and we seen one of them swarms moving in. Well, everybody had pretty well moved into the box, but you still had some in the air. But I got to watching, and I'd never seen this particular little bird do this. Now, I know the tanager, the red and yellow tanager, are bee eaters. And we've seen them around here once or twice. But them little old Carolina wrens,
Yeah.
buddy, that little Carolina wren, he or she was just back and forth, getting any and everybody she could in the air or on the ground. And I thought to myself, well, you little hussy.
No, I have a wren here at my house, and it will go from the box that it's in to the bee yard and back every couple minutes, feeding those baby birds. And I never walk. I just made myself feel better thinking she's picking them up off the ground, But she might have been popping them right off the landing board. I don't know. But yeah, they just go and go and go. Although I tricked her this year, I moved all those bees. So I hadn't even seen her in a while. She's like, the easy pickings is gone now. I got to work for it. That and those little dinosaur-looking lizards, man, they're all over out there, and I know they're picking them up off the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we see them big old skinks and what do you call them? The old greenhouse lizards. It's all over your place. And we'll sit there and watch them pick them off.
Ours are called like Texas roughback or something like that. I can't remember. They're some mean-looking things. They look cute when they're tiny, but boy, they get to be huge. And matter of fact, I'm not seeing as many of those, but it amazes me that any of those geckos can survive because I think they'll eat those geckos. I have seen a few geckos. When I was growing up, that's all we had was those little green geckos. You ever take one of those geckos and hang it on your ear, Tim?
Oh, the old green lizard.
Yeah.
Show their money bags, as they say. Sit there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to
my
hang them off
cousin.
your ear or put them on your nose.
My cousin, I was just a little kid. My cousin hung one on my ear, and I ripped it off and made my ear bleed. Because they latched down.
Yeah.
He thought it was funny. I didn't.
I'm glad you reminded me of that. I'm gonna try to get them youngins next time they bring one and show Uncle Tim. So let me show y'all an old trick here.
Some earrings.
Yep. It was just something to do, DC, I guess, for us youngins around here. But
I was trying to figure out where his comment came.
you know, hanging old green lizard off your ear.
Your phone was buffering. I couldn't hear you talking about it. I thought that was just a random thought by DC.
Some
I don't know where it came from.
you get a good sized one now. He can put a little bit of pain on that earlobe.
Mm-hmm. You'd rather hang a lizard than a snapping turtle. I reckon so.
Hey, we'll go ahead. Yeah, we'll derail. Seeing DC's comment, LOL, like ant in a magnifying glass. About 2 years ago, Hannah had to go to the eye doctor, and they did the whole eye exam. And the doctor, she was
unique.
Yes.
She was talking to us, literally, not just with her words, but her tone of voice was like she was teaching a preschool class or something. And it was driving Tim up the wall. I mean, she had this really squeaky, high-pitched voice, and it was like, okay, now we're going to look at this one, and we're going to look at this one. And that her whole personality was like that. And I reckon Tim finally had enough, and he started messing with her.
She pulled some kind of it was a magnifying glass, basically what it was, to do some kind of eye test or whatever.
I have astigmatism in both eyes, so she's trying to like get it fine-tune it before they make my new glasses again. And he starts talking about, boy, the ants you could fry on the sidewalk with that magnifying glass, like Jethro Bodine in the city for the first time.
Yeah, she didn't know what to think. She kind of looked at me like I was
speechless. And I'm just like, I knew I should have gagged him before we went in public.
Tim, you gotta go. Shazam.
Shazam. I should have, yeah.
She probably would have fell out on that floor if you said Shazam. I'd have just got up and walked out if you
I'm definitely, I already know I'm going to hell for all the birds I killed when I was a kid. But
did she give him a gun?
What we used to do is pour salt on the slugs.
Done that?
Oh, that's brutal.
Them babies, they'll go away in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm. So you was already talking country and you went deep woods.
Exactly. Yep.
I've never heard the levels defined quite like that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I always like to have fun with back when my kids were younger, as they were talking about the latest thing they saw on YouTube or whatever nonsense. And I'd tell them, I'd say, you know what? When I was growing up, we didn't have all that. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have YouTube. We couldn't talk about all that. They'd be like, well, what'd you do? I said, we just sat down and we just looked at each other and didn't say a word.
Yeah.
We had nothing to do at all. They look at me like, oh my God, we're so lucky.
I thought you was going to tell them you ate dirt or something.
I said, if we got real bored, we'd watch an apple core turn brown.
That's probably better than waiting on water to boil.
If we was up for some excitement.
Jeremy said, y'all ever drown a wasp and make it come back alive with salt?
Never
No,
done
never
that.
did that. Never did that.
Never heard that. That sounds like torture.
I tried drowning ants. That's a task.
Yeah, this
Because they
thing.
don't drown. They just build a
No.
bridge with each other.
It just float.
Mm-hmm. Fire ants do anyway. Hmm.
Oh, I thought I seen Mr. JW in here.
DC pulling wings off of flies and watching them run around.
Now I'll tell you what we did do. I don't even know what kind of fly it is. It looks like a little bit like a wasp, but we would tie a piece of thread around its head and it'd let it fly around and it'd be like on a leash. I don't know if you ever did that. I don't know what kind of fly that was. But
I
yeah,
never did none of these things to critters that y'all did.
so we would call it our pet wasp. Yeah, it'd fly around trying to get it, walking around like you walking your dog with a piece of thread about 2 feet long. And then when you got tired of playing with it, you just give it a snatch and its head falls off.
Oh my gosh. Phil said, who don't we like that we can drown and try using salt to bring them back? If you pull the wings off, you have to call it a walk, not
There you go. That's right. I like that. I like the way you're thinking, Brian.
Yeah.
Before I get too lost on the comment, Mr. JW, I hope whenever you walked into Walmart's and the big screen there that they have by the doors that you looked up and just go. That's what they love the most out of it when you're coming in there.
On a happier note, happy anniversary to Dennis and his wife. Their 25th wedding anniversary today.
Well,
Dennis
hey,
and
y'all.
Melanie,
Happy
right?
anniversary.
All right.
That's definitely a good excuse.
Where was that back?
I never tried to catch horse flies. I just smacked the mess out of them. Them suckers hurt.
Yeah, them horse flies didn't take some pain.
They take a chunk out of you.
Yeah, they were bad.
Jeremy, to your comment there, brother. Yeah, we cranking on up. The privet's starting to mosey on in pretty good, along with everything else right now. But they starting to draw out good on foundation we got waxed up not long ago. So we got us a good little old flow coming in right now.
Alka-Seltzer and seagulls.
Heard of that, never done it.
My brothers did that.
Yeah, I heard about it.
I thought my grandma was going to beat them to death. No, we won't kick you out, people.
This is a safe place.
I'm with Eric, though. Never really had the urge to bring back a dead wasp. Once it belongs to Jesus, it can stay.
Now, I tell you what, one thing that did occupy me as a kid, like especially this time, right as the sun's going down, either put a tennis ball or go out in the driveway and get you a bunch of rocks and put in a sock, tie the end of that sock off. Whenever you see the bats starting to fly, take that old sock and throw up in the air, and then bats will come down, and sometimes they'll get hooked in on that sock and come on down to the ground. That kept us entertained until the street lights come completely on. Then it was time to get inside.
We used to throw rocks up in the air and watch them dive down at the rocks when they were coming down. They'll chase those rocks because they'll think it's a bug. Look at there, DC and me had the same exact experience. So further up, Dennis said, "I'm done splitting my bees." Now, that could be taken one of two ways. You finished it and you're happy about it, or you're just fed up. You're not going to do it anymore. I don't know
Yeah.
which one that is. I could understand both of those things.
Who is tipped?
We
Who
always
will
talked
actually
about it.
admit to tipping a cow?
Yeah, I can remember guys going out doing it, but I never was in the car with them. I think we talked about it a bunch of times. I know some guys that got in trouble because they accidentally killed a cow when they went cow tipping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's something you take to your grave, bro. Look, all right. Here's one on the cows kind of thing. I can't give too much information away because the old man is still alive. And he'd probably kill me if he ever find out who I really was. But y'all remember the days of prank calling? There wasn't no caller ID, none of that. This and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But
That's another thing. Who will admit to prank calling on him?
I done a bunch
I
of it.
did that. Me. Yep.
But ours was
Prince Albert
just
and the
dial a
can.
random number and tell the people, say your cows are out. Hey, your cows are out. They down here all in my flower garden tearing everything up. My wife's fired up. You need to get down here and get these things.
It works out here because 90% of people got cows.
Well, I doubt I could tell you the phone number right now, but I'm not going to do it. But we found this one man that sure enough had cows, and we called him up one night. He's like, "Where y'all at?" We was like, "We right down the road from you." And we talked him into telling us what road he was on. And so we knew about where he was, and we was like, "Yeah, you go down, take a right out of your driveway, and we're right up here on the left, man. You can't miss them. They all in the flower
They
bed."
had that poor fella running all up and down the road looking for cows that wasn't never out
No,
at all. But they did this multiple times.
we did this for over a year. We would call this man, and
His cows
we
must
tell
have-
him,
His cows must have got out a lot, or he wouldn't have fallen for that.
well, we
But
called him.
he knew their voices by then. After the first few times, he figured them out. And he'd just get mad and start railing and cursing on the phone. They just called just to make him mad. He never went looking for the cows anymore.
It used to be to where, like she said, we called him so much, we found out what his last name was, and all we'd say is this Lambert? And he'd be like, "You punk! Teenagers need to get a life. This and that." Click, hang up on us. Well, rock on about 5 years, we hadn't called this man, and we was on the fire department.
We were on a call for a wreck, filling out the report, and asked the man for his phone number. And I thought Tim was going to fall out. He didn't know the dude's name, but he knew that phone number, and it was him.
Honest to God,
So help me God, if you say the word cow, I will wring your neck on this scene.
I told Hannah, I said, "Look at the man's name." And I said, "Look at his last name." And I've told her the story so many times. She knew the phone number. I said, "Look at the phone number on this report right here." And she said, "Is that the man with the cows?" And I was like, "Yeah." She said, "Did you say anything?" And I was like, "No, I didn't say nothing."
You better not say no.
That man would have killed me right there on the side of the road.
It's
You were
terrible. But I seen something on the Book of Faces that was so entirely true. And now I'm blaming my husband for the amount of times I get these stupid phone calls on a daily basis. So somebody put a post on there that said something about the ultimate karma is the robocalls that are landing on the whole generation that grew up on prank calls. Like, this is y'all's payback.
Yep, true.
I
I'd
was like,
say
I
that.
never did the prank calls.
We did them for sure. The only problem is I lived in such a small town. They're like, you call them up and go, "You got Prince Albert in a can?" And they'll go, "Philip, is that you?" Click.
I never heard of the marshmallows, DC.
Where's in the yard and marshmallow? No, we never did that.
Now we did salt a couple yards and spell things
in salt.
in the yard because it'd kill the grass, kind of thing.
Mhm.
But that was with like buddies you went to school with. We didn't hit people we didn't know with that kind of stuff. But if we knew you, oh yeah, you go get a bunch of salt and you spell out whatever you wanted to in their yard and give it about a week.
Yeah.
There it was.
Did you see
Then
Phil's
it's talking about
comment?
not fun.
Did you see 33 Mile Films?
Throw in a tweet.
I want to tweet.
That's what I was like.
Oh no.
Oh my god. Thistle seed on the football field. That is terrible.
Whoa.
Ooh.
That's even worse than turning hogs loose in the high school for the senior break. That is terrible. Oh boy, that would have been cause for you're expelled in Citronelle, Alabama.
Yeah. I guess that's why your daddy and them did that whenever they graduated.
Daddy did thistle seed?
No, they did the cow. They turned the pigs loose
No,
in the
that's
school.
what I'm saying. The thistle seed's worse than that.
Yeah.
Like, that's cause for you're expelled.
That's like a long term thing. That's
Yeah.
not spur of the moment.
All right, now I never heard of soaping words on a roof either.
See, we
I
can
reckon
talk
that's
about
kind of
these.
like painting a water tower.
Well, yeah, I guess so. But the good part about it, we can talk about these things nowadays because the generation, the children, they're not going to get out and go do it anymore because they're so stuck on their cell phones. Where,
They're probably too scared of the dark.
yeah.
Mm.
We did one that was, when I think back on it, dumb and dangerous. Back then, I guess they didn't really have a good idea of expansion on the roads, and that every once in a while roads would buckle. You ever seen a road buckle? And it could buckle couple of feet up in the air, and you could cause bad accidents in the summer, in the real heat of the summer. So we found a big old piece of like construction paper, like you guys lay out on the floor when you're doing a job, that real heavy brown paper. We crumpled that up. We found a big old piece of that and crumpled it up and put it in the middle of the road, like I guess the speed on that road was like 35 miles an hour or so. And it was what we called the highway. We wasn't what most people think of. But we drag that out in the road and go get in the bushes and watch the cars slam on their brake. And somebody'd get out and they would drag it out of the road, and then we'd after they'd leave, we'd drag it back out there and stand it up. And then after a little while, then the local police would be out there looking for us.
That's what I was waiting on.
We would lay it. They never caught us. We only did that a couple times. Right. stuff we were looking to do. Nobody ever got hurt.
Eric,
Thank
you
goodness.
never should have told her. Jeez.
Well, it seems like everybody had a good time.
Everybody. Oh my gosh. Look, y'all, I can't take it no more. I'm gonna be in the background, but I got to stand up. So I'm gonna say good night to everybody.
Yeah, well, we'll wrap this puppy up here.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying shut it down. It's not
I probably need to move on. It's late.
Yes.
I did take me a little nap today, but yeah, I was up early this morning because I had to move bees about before daylight.
I wanted a nap today.
Yeah, we was gonna take it easy. And we had how was that old? We had complications and situation arise
Mm-hmm.
and had to run and help a buddy out. Was having a moment, I guess.
That's a good way to
Best way to explain it. There was some conflict. I put it like we ain't been in the fire department in 3 years, but a lot of people still call us and this and that, but with this one particular ordeal today, undoubtedly there were some ugly words exchanged between the neighboring department. An old buddy called me up. I need you to come get me. I left the fire truck and everybody sitting there. They wanted me to hurt myself and so on and so forth. It was a big old story. And we was like, where are you at? And he said, I'm in the next little old town over. I'm walking home. Can you come get me? So we was like, yeah, I reckon so, since you left fire trucks and everybody there. But that took up most of the relaxed part of our day. We finally come back home and just said, we done with it. But uh, yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and we'll wrap her on up. I know everybody got you start your days tomorrow, get ready to go to work, this and that, especially one of y'all on that East Coast over that way. But thank you everybody that threw us a super chat. Thank you very much, 33 Mile Field, for the memberships to everybody, and thank y'all everybody for either or, whether you're catching us now on the live or on the replay. We appreciate everybody joining along and listening to our nonsense wherever we go with things on this channel anyway. But it's always a good time and a good laugh for sure. But Philip, hopefully you get your swarms lined out, get everybody moved without no problem, and get settled into that yard pretty soon.
I got to go out in a couple of days and transfer everything into regular boxes or what's ready to be transferred. So it's good. It's all good. Hopefully we'll make a little honey. We'll see. This rain we got this week hopefully help.
Yeah, at least y'all get some. It's going to be another week and a half before it's looking like we're going to get anything over this way. I was kind of hoping what y'all was getting would be here about Tuesday, but it ain't looking that way. And
I need to look and see if we got any down at the farm, because it's way worse down there than it is up here.
But like Buck said, y'all don't forget the folks on the prayer list. I know many of y'all out there prayer wars for folks, and even though we do a lot of cutting up and carrying on here, we're grateful for everybody that takes the time to do that, not only for us, but for everybody on that list. But I reckon till the next one, God bless you. Lord willing, we'll see y'all on the next one. Y'all take
All
care.
right, brother.
Well, guess that's it for today. See you next time at Gunline Bees.